Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Arcane Assist. I'm Tim, joined today by John. How's it going, John?
Not bad, Tim. How are you doing?
Good, good. And today we're playing a first battle report after I got back from my honeymoon. My partner and I went to Disney World and to Universal Studios and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It was fantastic. But first came back, I threw up a poll on my Twitter account for what faction I should play. So today I'm playing CRYX. Gonna see some CRYX played against. And what are you playing today, John?
I'm playing one of my OTC lists. I'll be playing March the 5th, March the 4th. What is it, March 4th when we use the tournament? March 4th? March 4th is the tournament. Playing Madrak3. Want me to go through my list right now?
Sure, tell us what you're playing.
Sure, not a problem. Madrak3, his Battlegroup's 2 Maulers. He has 2 full units of Fennblades. One of those units have the UA. I have a unit of Kill Warriors with 1 Cabber. I have 1 Fellcaller. I have a Chronicler. I'm playing in Tier, the Band of Heroes. It gives me every 20 points of champions, I get a free medium base solo. And that medium base solo, I'm using it for the champ solo.
The champion hero, yeah.
No, I'm not. No, champ hero is adding to my 20 points, so it's my Fellcaller is my free.
Right, your Fellcaller is your free solo.
I get 2-inch extra deployment and takedown.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Takedown
Optional.
helps a lot. It is optional now in the tier, which is pretty cool. So that means you can deny tough and you can RFP things, which is pretty effective. Against John's list today, I'm playing Scaverous, Lord Exhumator Scaverous. He has a Withershadow Combine attachment, and then his battle group consists of 2 Deathrippers and Erebus, his character Jack. I also brought a unit of Bane Warriors, no UA on that unit. Then I have Wrong Eye and Snapjaw, and then a max unit of Satyxis Raiders with UA. This is the first CRYX list I've played with only 1 unit of Satyxis Raiders in some time, so I'm jazzed about that. Then I have a Warwitch Siren and a unit of Cephalyx Overlords. And without further ado, we'll get into it. All right, so first turn, we're just setting everything up. I'm marking out a couple of tokens, and we're getting into it. So I won the die roll and chose to go first. So John picked side here. His Arcane Wonder is your Steamroller objective?
Arcane Wonder.
Yep. Which actually plays quite a role because I'm playing a list that has a lot of magical attacks, and that's definitely a big part of my game plan. And I'm playing with Fuel as my objective. Can't quite connect the dots between that forest and my objective to make like a big cloud wall to prevent John's charges, so I'm basically playing without a particularly relevant Steamroller objective this time, although it does light some of his stuff on fire. So Scaverous activates first. He puts Soul Harvester on the Satyxis, and he puts Death Ward on the Bane Warriors, putting them up to a pretty respectable arm 17. He then telekinises Erebus up, and he charges right across the table at Madrak, getting up as far as he can. This list has a lot of ways to collect souls, and one of the coolest mechanics Scaverous has is his ability to spend a soul to force a model in his control area to reroll an attack or damage roll. That doesn't have a friendly faction clause, doesn't even have a friendly clause, so I can use it offensively to force John's pieces to reroll things. Arcnode runs up, stays in Scaverous's control area, and the Bane Warriors run up, spread out nicely in some layered formation. Wrong Eye casts Starcrossed and Submerge, charges across the board at a champion. Then Wrong Eye casts Submerge and riles for 3, and he charges across the board at Madrak, getting that plus 2 inches of movement for charging a living model and charging for free because he's charging a living warrior model. So yeah, that's just unpacking the list, just getting my pieces up there. I deployed Wrong Eye and Snapjaw across from the water, that way they had Pathfinder with respect to it. And I put the Satyxis Raiders. This forest and this building are kind of really in my way, although I may also use them to kind of screen my pieces. So I put the stuff that had the speed to kind of flank really hard on this side, and I'm playing an old this is tech from Body and Soul tier list in Mark II, where you use the Overlord unit and to a certain extent the Warwitch Siren to run twice and then flank really, really hard. So when your opposing player's infantry line crashes into your infantry line, you've got them lined up in little sprays for your Overlords to spray into. So that's what I'm trying to do with my Overlords here, is I'm trying to flank really, really hard with them. So they're actually, a couple of them are almost off the camera at this point, down by our dice tray. So the Satyxis fill that space there, and I'm hoping to fan wide, fan out nice and broadly. And I put my Warwitch Siren in a position to be on that side of the board, but also possibly to empower Erebus next turn so he can, have a bit of focus while allowing Scaverous to keep his entire stack. So, John, what are you thinking looking across from this?
Whenever I play Madrak, it's either if I go first, I feat turn 1 if I'm playing against a shooting list, and if I go second, I usually feat turn 2 due to the fact I run everything up. With a 2-inch deployment, and then everything, like my Fennblades run 12, that's 24 inches, so they're halfway up the table. So I'm basically playing already engagement mode. You're going to engage me on your turn no matter what. So I'm already deciding I'm feeding. Now I'm just deciding how to unpack it to make sure I don't lose as many models as possible. You collect souls when you kill something on the one unit down here on the bottom. So you can do a couple AoE 4s you have.
Yeah, he's got Feast of Worms, which is an AoE 4, and models that are in the AoE. It's a weird spell. So it's a POW 12 AoE 4. So POW 12 on the direct hit, POW 6 on everything else. Models in the AoE suffer -2 armor. So kind of like a POW 14 and a POW 8, which is cool. And then also if a model is killed in it, an enemy model, Scaverous gets its soul.
Yeah, so
weird spell.
I don't want to give you souls.
Oh, and it's an upkeep spell.
Yeah, so it stays on the table. So I don't want to give you souls. I don't want to lose models. So my first turn usually when I play against blast damage or a shooting list is use a blast key. It takes time, but when you use a blast key, he doesn't have that many targets. He hits one, and he only gets one.
Yep.
So I'm blast keying everything. I've talked to Tim. Your unit across me only runs.
They can charge 8 and have 1
inch
melee.
So 9-inch engagement. I'm outside 9 inches.
Yep.
I made sure of that too. So I'm doing all of this and making sure they're not within the blast radius of 4 inches or 4-inch blast radius. So yeah, I'm doing it with everything. My warriors are running. My Fennblades are in the top. Warriors are running. Basically just setting up. You'll see here in a minute, I'm going to put a proxy base. That is where Madrak's going to go because his feat is warrior models in this control area cannot be knocked down. They also gain a tough on 4, 5, 6, and they move 3 after they tough.
Except while advancing. Yeah, it does. So they can't take free strikes and proc extra advancements or that kind of thing, but they can, reposition dynamically. It's a really powerful feat against shooting armies. I've seen it a few times. It's going to be interesting because this is definitely, like, John's read the situation right. This is my get work done turn. Like, this is the turn where I want to crash into his army, and that feat makes it's a nasty prospect.
Yeah. So my Kriel Warrior's gone. I'm measuring like 12 inches. That's where that stick is. The 6-inch measuring tool. That's how far my feet will go. I'm measuring. My fellow color gave these guys Pathfinder, so they're running across the water. That's why they're all staying within 12. I think I have a total of 3 guys on the bottom half of the board and 3 guys on the top half of the board outside of 12 inches of my feet.
Yeah, Madrak going up to a Fury 6 means that feat affects a very large footprint. It's pretty impressive for anybody who played Madrak as a Fury 5 caster.
Yeah, Madrak 3 as a 6 Fury caster is huge. I really enjoyed him. Don't get me wrong, that 1 Fury is always for his protective aura.
Yeah, sure.
So he's Fury 5 caster.
But with that 12-inch control area.
12-inch control area.
Yeah, and magic casting stat 6 for the purpose of actually casting spells.
Which he has 1 offensive.
Yep.
Reboot.
Yeah, that's
reboot.
Rebuke is really good.
So I maybe made mistakes here with my champions. I ran them over the wall. I put 2 over the wall, 2 behind the wall, and 1 behind them. I was hoping that I would get hit and I would get a retaliatory strike, but then I remembered after I did it that his 1 jack is automatic stationary when he hits.
Yeah, Erebus.
So there is no retaliatory strike after that. So I'm like, that's okay. I'll lose 2 champions and I'll move 3 up and see how much damage 3 can do.
It's true.
So Madrak goes. You see the feat token. He pops his ore and he drops 1 because both my war beasts ran. So I'm on 4 Fury with a feat up. And my Chronicler goes over to my Fennblades and give them Tail of the Mist.
Yep.
And then I pass it over.
All right. Well, that's a lot of dudes. It's also a lot of souls, which is appealing. That's definitely a thing that I'm thinking about here. So Scaverous upkeeps a spell for free because of Edmonia's presence, and he spends 1 to upkeep the other spell. I move the Fuel Cache Cloud a little bit over, position it a bit more aggressively. Again, I'm still not making great use of it, but I'm still just, it's there. Wrong Eye Reeves back up to 4, and we're in it. Should be interesting. So I'm very tempted this turn to just kind of back off and see what happens. I know John's got an enormous amount of pressure, and he's got really, really good threat ranges on a lot of the portions of the board. But that feat, it neuters a lot of my attacks. Like, it turns my attacks from, a third of the time not killing a model and collecting a soul to 50% of the time not collecting a soul. And also, there's a certain kind of guarantee in 2 Banes charge each guy. He definitely is going to kill it, because the second one, when he's knocked down, is going to not have a tough check. But because the feat makes everything steady, it doesn't allow me to prevent that, which is too bad. So Erebus moves up, makes a couple of attacks. I actually miss an attack here. I kind of maybe under-allocate to him. He gets the power-up focus and then an empower from the Warwitch Siren, and I do manage to kill 1 of the champions.
Their defense 14 base to base.
Yeah, so he needs 7s to hit. So maybe I should have found a way to collect a soul with Scaverous first, so I could re-roll that first 7, or maybe boost it to hit the first one to find it. But instead, I just don't quite kill 2 champions, which is too bad. That's okay. It happens. So it's the Satyxis now. I decide I want to activate a unit who can harvest some souls for me. So Soul Harvester got upkept on the Satyxis. They're going to make some charges, get a bunch of charges in on John's unit here. They do pray for a Relentless Charge this turn. The Warwitch Siren, the Sea Witch allows them to choose either Overtake or Force Barrier or Relentless Charge. So they took Relentless Charge this turn. And yeah, that's the unit. Some of them ran to get gang bonuses. Others just charged. So, result of my first charge attack. This is on a model that's outside of John's feet, but this one is not getting a gang bonus. So I do kill that model, but John manages to roll a 5 for the tough because it's not on a 4. Over here, get a couple of attacks. This witch kills a model. John chooses to repo back, but realizes he would take a free strike, so instead doesn't move. She makes her second initial attack. Oh, sorry, she doesn't have melee range for the second initial attack. Get one of the other charges here. Kills the model. This time Scaverous collects the soul. So Scaverous has the one that Erebus killed. He collected a soul. And then the first one that this unit killed. So he's on 2 souls at this point, which is pretty good. Scaverous has as I said, like Erebus helps him. He's one way to collect souls because he kind of has that soul harvester effect built in all the time. The Satyxis are pretty effective at it too because they each have 2 initials. They're pretty accurate, pretty punchy, especially with the charge bonus. So like they kill things pretty effectively in most classes of infantry. So I'm piling up a bunch of souls, and my thought here is I'm going to have a whole bunch of souls, and then I'm going to convert them into focus next turn, and I'm going to have this really amazing feat turn where I can just TK like 12 things if I want to, and just really, really mess up John's life and maybe put a lot of scenario pressure on. So I'm on 4 souls now, having filled up a bunch of space here, and I've actually...
3 souls. Oh, no, 4, because that one dark one. You're right.
Yep.
4.
It's 4 souls. Why's it got to be a dark one, John? Come on.
I don't know. It's your models, your beads.
So at this point, I've also cleared the flag. I'm not in a position to score yet, but I want to kind of apply that pressure. So I'm going to move that arc node up. So he's going to score if John doesn't do something about it. I debate charging him into the Fennblade. Just, get in on the Fennblade, have a map 5 melee attack, need a 7 to hit, which Scaverous can force him to reroll, and then probably kill him. But 50% of the time he doesn't die, and I feel like doing so gives away an arc node without necessarily getting high enough value for it. So I just move him back, and I just have him toe the flag. The Overlords, who are now completely off the map, are just below the Fennblades. Again, they ran a second time to flank really hard. So I'm hoping John moves his stuff into a line against the Satyxis, and those Overlords can come in and clean house. So, got a couple of interesting decisions to make. I've got a pretty good bead on Snapjaw charging one of the Kriel warriors, and then because of his placement on the Kriel warrior, where he charges with, say, his tail, he could make a bunch of attacks against that champion with a POW 18. That POW 18 is dice even. I've got the ability for Scaverous to reroll it. He's not base to base with anybody, so he is steady, but he, doesn't have that defense 14. So that seems pretty reliable. And I'd really like to get rid of another champion because they're some of John's better armor cracking tools in this list. I'm not exactly an armor skew, but Erebus is pretty tough, and anything that I can put that +2 armor buff on is pretty effective, so I move Wrong Eye up. Wrong Eye charges after casting Starcross and Submerge and just clips the house. So he's out of the picture right now, but he's just behind that house. And then Snapjaw charges, kills the Kriel warrior. Kriel warrior passes his tough check, doesn't move out of melee. And then I kill the champion with my second initial, and John fails the tough check on that one. So I buy on the Kriel warrior.
Toughs again.
He toughs again. I kill him the third time. He dies this time. And then I'm just out of melee to get another Kriel warrior. So Snapjaw just riles for one and casts Submerge on himself.
All right, Tim. Top unit of Fennblades. What is your plan? They're the unit with the UA.
Yeah, my plan initially was to ignore them. And I make... Well, we'll get to it in a second. I think there's a cute line of play. Right now I'm just outside of 10 with the Arcane at the top. So the cute line of play I'm considering is activating Scaverous, feeding just for value on my lower cost spells, TKing the Arc Node up, excarnating the officer, killing him with an excarnate. I've got rerolls from my souls. It's cheaper to cast. I've got a boost on it. And then with those effects, stripping them of their ability to mini feat so that they can ignore the sort of rough terrain that they might be engaging and get that extra movement bonus, and their cleave, which is one of the ways that I think they can kill those Banes fairly effectively. And if I do that, I think that's worth proccing Vengeance to scalpel out that officer. But to get that lane, first I do a little bit of attrition work with the Withershadow. I'm not 100% sure that's the thing I want to do yet. It's a pretty conservative use of the feat, but I feel like if you can get just a little bit of value out of the feat, it's fairly good. And I had thought about saving it for the next turn, but I need to reroll to hit on one of the Withershadow Combine and damage on the other, so that their Dark Fires would kill 2 Kriel warriors. So right now, I'm kind of two minds, which is a problem. When you haven't really committed properly to one plan or the other, I'm still thinking about that play with Scaverous, and here I'm running the Banes in a way that really doesn't make a lot of sense if that's what I'm going to do. This is the way to form them up if you're not planning to proc Vengeance, where you kind of give him one line to feed into, and then a second line that's too far out for him to really get a lot of models on. Unfortunately, if I proc Vengeance on this unit by trying to kill that UA, I'm going to give him a line to eat with Vengeance and then a line to charge into, which is stupid. So that's a big mistake on my part if I commit to that line of play, which you're about to see I certainly do. And that's a mistake. So I move up to get that Arc Node in range, even post TK. He's not quite in range for me to do all of this without moving Scaverous first. And then I cast Excarnate.
Defense 12.
I ask John, defense 14 because of Tail and Mists,
Tail Mists.
but I'm boosted from the feet. I asked John, am I in range of your aura? But what I meant to ask him was, am I in range of your feet? So he answered, no, he's out of range of the aura, but he is in range of the feet. I should definitely not have gone for this knowing that.
Because then he did 4 damage, he toughed. Or he did 5 damage.
Yeah, 5 damage, he toughs.
And I just went back 3 inches outside your 10 inches. Regarding because of my... Yeah,
if he's out of the feet range, then obviously he'd be knocked down, and I just excarnate him again, and he'd die, and that's quite reliable. Instead, I'm sitting on extra focus with nothing to do with it, and I haven't done anything relevant against this unit except for proc Vengeance on a 11-man unit, which is really stupid.
Only 10.
No, 11 swords, 12 models in the unit.
But one of them is out of formation.
Okay, great. He's going to get back into formation. He's going to get back into formation after the Vengeance move. So it's
true.
not
like it was a mistake.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, especially because of the way that I position the Banes on that side of the board. Because not only does it mean that John gets to get a ton of work done against that entire unit of Banes, but it means that I kind of seed the advantageous scenario presence that I have on that side of the board as well. So it's really big, and it wastes my feet. So it's a huge game changer. I feel really good about where I'm at in this game, having not made that mistake. Having made that mistake, I'm behind in a pretty aggressive way.
Yeah, as soon as you proc Vengeance, I'm like, okay, well now I have 3/4 of my Fennblades can walk up now and kill that front line of 5 Banes or 4 Banes. And then they get a charge the following turn and probably engage the rest of your Banes and hopefully kill them by putting Fortune on them, as some of them will be under Starcross.
So just to be a little bit more aggressive with my feet, I TK Scaverous forward again. He's only on 1 soul now, unfortunately, because I did have to use another soul to reroll damage on that officer to at least get the 50-50 chance of killing him. So that's a big mistake, and it's going to cost me. So now John's doing Vengeance on the unit at the bottom of the board here.
Yeah, so Vengeance at the bottom of the board. They don't have Pathfinder. March only lasts for 1 turn. So they can move like 0.5 or 1.5 through the water. Every unit, every member is in range of my in command.
Except for that knockdown guy at the bottom, right?
Yeah. He stands up during his activation, right? So
yeah, he's not going to get anything during Vengeance, and you're going to try to get him back into formation, I think.
Yeah, that's the plan, right? Like right now I just moved him over, which puts him back in formation. I need 8s to hit.
Yeah, their defense 14. John has all of them out of Starcrossed range, so he's just trying to roll 8s. Satyxis are pretty tough to hit, but you hit, I think, fully 50% of your attacks here.
I hit 1, and I kill 2.
Yeah, of 4 attacks, you kill 2 models.
4?
Yep.
Yeah. 2 out of 4 because the other 2 couldn't get anywhere else. So I hit the 8s, which is nice. I'll take them. Hopefully that unit will clean up most of the unit down there, or at least jam. Now I do this Vengeance on the top one.
Yeah,
I get a lot of people on each of these Banes. I get about I think 2 or 3 per Bane, so I have a pretty good shot of hitting 6s and then doing 6s for damage because I'm 17 now because
of Death Ward.
Yeah, so I need 6s. Hit it. I need 6s to kill. Don't kill. A few chances though. Like eventually it's going to happen. I think I clear every single one of the Banes in the front line, which is pretty huge.
It's fairly likely in both cases that you clear that first line and that you're able to jam. Again, if I don't trigger Vengeance here and make that fairly pivotal mistake in the game, then that's their entire activation, which puts me in a really good situation, especially if John punches up as much as they did there.
Yeah, for sure. No. So now I'm like, okay, Madrak, Vengeance, I'm not going to move. I only use Madrax's Righteous Vengeance if he can walk up and deal some damage into someone. So I'm just thinking, how do I play this turnout? I'm looking forward to using Fortune on the top unit of Fennblades, so I can have 3 dice to hit 6s under Starcross, or 3 dice to hit 6s normally. Your Arc Node's defense 14 or 13?
14.
14, so I need 8s on the Arc Node. So Fortune helps there. That top unit is going to get a lot of work done. Like, I'm committed to sending them in, and they're going to be jammed up. And they also have reposition because of Drummer. So I'm hoping to be like as far in as possible on like boxing you in and protecting my caster at the same time. I'm thinking how I can kill his Jack in front of me. I've did a little bit of proxying here coming up. I'm trying to proxy my Mauler to get to the Jack. First proxy, see if I can get champions to the Jack over the wall. Starcross is playing a huge issue because usually I need 7s, your Jack's defense 14.
The Arc Nodes are still defense 14.
No, the other one, the bonded
Erebus is also defense 14. Yep.
Yeah, so I need 7s on my champions to hit. So I'm debating, do I give him my Fell Caller, give him +2, so they become Mat 9. then you only need 5s to hit.
It's a lot more reliable under Starcrossed, especially because I can force you to reroll those.
Yeah.
Erebus has Poltergeist, but Poltergeist doesn't end up being super relevant at this point because you've got that wall you can tuck yourself in front of.
Yeah. So I'm measuring right now, like I said, approximate Mauler, see if I can get the Mauler here. We have to do a little bit of
The wall actually doesn't affect the Mauler as much as it looks like it does from the camera shot. It's actually that he's tangent, like he's base to base with the objective, and by being that, he has to charge on a line that would be tangent to it.
And like the only way for me to get base, only way I can get you in if I could charge farther, but I can't charge farther because I'm against the house right there.
Yep.
So we do measuring, like we're measuring like the free strikes he would take and all that stuff, and then we go back and measure the tangent line again, and we came to conclusion that
he's
it's
just a little bit out of his
possible.
1 inch. It's close.
It's close. It's close enough where in a tournament I would call a judge, for sure. I'll make the judge call on that. But here we take our time. We measure things out. We make sure we do our best we can for both parties and play it as even as possible. So I decided, you know what? It's not possible. I'm not going to do it. Fellow caller walks up, gives my champions, the 3 champions I have left, +2 to hit. They're at 9. They're at 9 now. Cool. Makes it a little easier to hit now. She's going to make a spray. Why not? She's
4
Satyxis Raiders.
Yep.
I need 8s to hit. She's been MVP before in other matches we've had on this channel.
If you remember the Virus versus Porca 1 game, just roll 4 hard 8s.
So I'm hoping she can roll a couple 8s here, and all 4 rolls I miss.
Yep.
Okay, I can't win them all. It's all good. She did her job though. The war cry is huge. I'm activating these units of Fennblades, I think, next, just to make sure he can do their stuff. They're just going to walk. I just wanted to do the walk so the one that just stood up could get into...
But I think you determined that the one that stood up is actually out of formation.
It's still
right
out
now.
of formation. So, even walking, it doesn't matter because I just got to hit you and you're dead. So, because your armor 11, right?
Yeah, they're arm 11.
So I just got to
14,
hit
11.
You. So, 8s to hit.
It might be 14, 12. Anyway, you're POW 12s. You kill them on anything.
So I'm just making sure he's out. So he's just going to move over, come back into formation. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks coming up. Remember how Tim said hopefully he will line up in a straight line?
Yep.
Well, I just did that for Tim. Totally forgot about the guys on the side of the board. Hoping to take a few out. I kill 1. Rolling again, kill 2. Hitting 8s again out of 6 attacks. So kill 2 out of possible 5. So
yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, this turn you've made 9 attacks and killed 4 models.
Yep.
That's almost 50% for 8s, which is pretty reasonable.
Okay, so champs are going to go. They're just going to walk. Walk over the wall, all base to base. All attacking that one Jack. That was Poltergeist. I'm going to start with the one farthest up the board. Need 5s to hit under Starcross.
Yep.
Hits. Power 11 Weapon Master. Makes me reroll it because I
Dice
cranked the
-7.
damage.
You crank the damage. I force you to reroll.
I still cranked the damage. Instead of doing 10 to him, I think I did only 9 to him this time.
Nope. Instead of doing 4 damage to him, you do 6 damage to him.
Oh, yeah, because it's
actually
dice off.
improved your damage roll.
Yeah.
Because it's dice -7.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
Second guy did some damage to him. The first 2 guys didn't miss a single attack. One didn't do any damage. I think we're on the 3rd guy now.
Yep. You've blown out almost both of his center columns.
So the 3rd guy cranks damage as well. So 5 hits. I basically tore that Jack apart. 8 boxes left?
Kind of. Erebus at this point I think has 5 boxes left, but only 1 arm crippled.
Yeah. So I spreaded the damage out too much. You have your cortex, your movement, and your right arm still available.
Yep. Yeah, left arm.
Yeah. So my Mauler had to go up. I had to contest his flag. So he walks up instead. Boost to hit because I'm under Starcross. Hits them both, kills. I'm within 4 inches of the flag.
Yep.
Tim can easily deal with it, but I need to contest so he doesn't score on my turn. It's always a big issue. Even though I think I might have a Fennblade down there contesting as well, but they're not going to last that much longer.
Yeah, I think both Fennblades are actually out right now. But
next
maybe the one in the water.
Next up is the Kriel Warriors. They're just going to bunch up and do a Caber attack on the
Snapjaw.
Snapjaw misses under Starcross.
Because of Starcross.
Try to hit the Bane, misses. All good. They were only there to jam. They're just making sure Madrak doesn't get charged by something crazy that Tim comes up with. Madrak's going to go walk around. He's going to get within 6 inches. And then Tim's like, well, make sure you're outside of 14.
Yep.
I'm not in the kill box. And he's like, wait, make sure you're outside of 14 as well. I'm like, why? And he's like, well,
I mean,
spells cost one more. It wouldn't be a big deal for me right now. It really isn't.
It would probably put you down to no transfers, which could be an issue.
3 for Starcross, 1 for the thing. So I'll be at 1. No, I don't have anything to upkeep. So I'm a 6 focus caster. Cost 3 for fortune. 1 for... I'll be down to 2.
So because you spend 1 for the stone, you spend 3 for fortune. Yeah, you'd be down to 2. So really what it is, it would make the aura only 6 inches.
Yeah, that's the difference. Which would not get my front row champions and my Kriel warriors. And I also want to stay within 12 of my Mauler. So like we did a little bit of pushing around. We proxied this out. We agreed that this is outside of 14, and within 12 of my Mauler.
Yeah, it's it's a little tiny bubble of safety that Madrak is rocking there.
But you got to make sure all this stuff, right? I don't want to give you 2 points. And I don't.
You certainly can't afford to give me 2 points.
I don't want my Mauler outside my control range because I can't afford that either.
Yeah, if your Mauler frenzies, that's a bad scene.
So I put fortune on the guys. I decided not to do anything with Madrak. Pop the aura and camp 3. That's Madrak. That's basically what he does. He either camps 5 or camps 3. Depends if you get fortune or not.
Sometimes you upkeep fortune.
Yeah, if you have a fortune out, so then you camp 4.
Yep.
But other than that, he usually doesn't throw spears unless he goes for trying to clear something, or unless he goes down to 0 if he goes for the assassination. Madrak's a really unit-heavy focus caster, and I feel like he just keeps his army pretty safe.
Yeah. He gets a lot of work out of Fury on his opponent's turn, which is cool because it means that the game plan that he wants to play, which is protecting his army, incidentally protects him by having transfers.
Yeah.
So I think he's a really cool caster.
I enjoy him a lot. He's a lot of fun, very technical. Like it's very technical because you got to play him. You got to pre-measure everything. You got to make sure everything's in range. You got to play everything to precise measurements, and I enjoy that stuff. So Fennblades getting the run charge order. I forgot to pop the mini feet, so they don't get to go as far as possible, but I still get all the charges I needed. A lot of proxies went down here to make sure all my Fennblades can make it.
Yeah, you're looking for good opportunistic
lines.
Spots to cleave as well.
Yeah, I don't want to I want to make sure I move the right one at the right time so I don't overlap and block my charge lanes.
Yep.
So I got 4 proxy bases at a time, moving each of them, checking if there's a free strike. There's no free strike, so that's awesome. So I've charged every single Bane. Each Bane at least has 1 charge.
Yep.
And each Bane at least has 1 person that can cleave into it.
Yep.
So each Bane can possibly have 2 chances of dying from POW 12s.
So you need 6s to hit and 6s to kill, but you get a reroll to hit, but you're under Starcrossed.
Yeah.
So you need a rerollable Starcross 6 to hit.
2 or 3 models under Starcross. The upper half of the table is not.
Yeah, the guys who are charging the Jack and 2 Banes don't have Starcrossed. The guys in the bottom who are charging 4 of the Banes do.
Yeah. So I need 8, Fortune plus Starcross 6s, and Fortune and Starcross 6s. So then I charge a Jack. I put 4 guys on the Jack, or 3 guys on the Jack. Did you do some damage?
Yep.
And here we go. Rolling some dice. A lot of things get killed this turn. I think I'll leave you with 2 Banes at the end.
I believe, yeah, that's right, 2 Banes.
And I think it's the 2 Banes under Starcross.
Yeah, the 2 Banes that were under Starcross. They got multiple charges, multiple cleaves, and got missed.
Yeah. So
what happens is basically you miss 3 times against those 2 Banes, and once you hit, but don't exceed armor.
Yes. So then I basically can kill everything else at the top of the board. No Starcross. I need 6s to kill. Kills. And just going up cleaving. Need 6s on 2 dice. Doesn't get it. Charging. Hits. Kills. Cleaving to the other guy. Hits and kills.
So you can see the results of the mistake that I made. It cost me a ton of positioning. It cost me the Arc Node system on the Jack. It cost me 6 Banes.
Yeah, I cranked some damage and I took out the Arc Node.
Sorry, it cost
aspect.
me 4 Banes more than I would have lost.
Yeah. Cost the Arc Node Cortex or Arc Node, what is it called?
The Arc Node system.
Yeah, on the Jack. And now I get a Repo 3. This is I like this. This is always cute with the drummer alive. Everything is repo 3. Just engage in everything, moving as much as I can down the board to make sure Tim has to do a lot of work to clear what he needs to clear if he wants to go for any scoring or a play on Madrak, anything like that. Everything's in formation, double checked. Just turning around, make sure the arc node's within 2 inches. So if he moves, he takes a free strike. He walks up, puts Tails of the Mist on the Fennblades. Champ goes behind the wall, and that was basically my turn.
All right. So obviously I've got a lot to claw back here. Scaverous spent everything he had to stay in the game last turn. So I drop Death Ward, which I don't think is super important on the Banes, but I upkeep Soul Harvester because I'm hoping that the Satyxis on the bottom side of the board here can unjam some of those Fennblades, and maybe they can collect a soul or 2 for Scaverous so he can enable some rerolls a little bit later in the turn. So we're ready for that moment that I talked about a second ago where these Overlords come in from a flank and get to spray down the line on a bunch of different targets. I'm really wishing that I hadn't feated the previous turn because this would be a great turn to feat. Alas, it is what it is. So we check where the Overlords are moving to. They get into position and manage to... One of them gets a really sexy spray that catches 4, and then the other ones just kind of each get an okay spray that catches either 1 or 2 models. So Overlords move up, resolve their sprays. Guy hits every single spray except for 1. And POW 12 against Armor 14, they kill on notable ones.
And tough is only a 5/6 this turn, so my feet turn is down.
So 3 of them die and 2 of them are knocked down. I get a spray. I can't quite clip both of them with any of the lines that I've got, so I get a spray that clips 1 and kills him. Or sorry, no, I do clip both of them with a spray that hits. I target just a guy way off in the distance because Cephalyx Overlords don't need line of sight for their sprays. So you can target just someone like on the other side of the board, which is one of the other things really powerful about this flanking tactic. And the third one sprays this knockdown guy, hits him, but he's knocked down. He toughs, should I say.
So you basically cleared a lot of the Fennblades with that unit that ran twice, and they basically did their job. Like, it cleared, 5 Fennblades?
Yep, they're pretty incredible. So now we're doing some charges. I'm hoping that my Soul Harvest Raiders can get at least a couple of souls onto Scaverous, because everything becomes a lot more likely with rerolls. Like the way you spike damage, the way you're going to hit things, just becomes a lot more possible with rerolls.
So Tufts, second initial kills it. You have 2 charges on the Fell Collar.
Yep.
Key piece of my army. Hits. Does 3 points of damage.
Yeah, something like 3 points, I think.
Make a tough check. Does not tough.
Okay, so the second one killed it.
Yep.
So that's good. That's a good chunk of souls for Scaverous.
Yeah,
He's
collected
pretty
4.
near. Yep.
Yeah, so you're on 4 souls.
May have actually been 5.
It might be
Something
5.
Like
so you're currently sitting on 7 focus and 5 souls.
that's pretty good. I would love to have my feet here. No lying.
So what's your plan with this Mauler?
So the trick with the Mauler here is he's really in the way. He's contesting that zone, and I don't have anything there that can kill him. Erebus can probably kill a couple of champions, but that doesn't free up a lane for Snapjaw to get on him. So I have to just remove him. So I'm going to use the Withershadow Combine to spell slave a telekinesis. And then with that telekinesis, I'm going to move him off the flag.
One thing here is he's within 4 inches of the Arcane Wonder.
Yeah, so the range on my telekinesis is only 6 inches.
So, that's something we always point out. He's going to cast a spell. Oh, he's within 4 inches. Okay. And then, gives your opponent a chance to,
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to showcase a particularly high quality of game. So we're not saying oh, gotcha, this happened. But unless it, happened somewhat organically like it did with the mistake that I made a couple turns ago. We want to illustrate that point. But, John does say just a reminder that I've got the Arcane Wonder Bunker, and we confirmed that the guy's within 6 instead of 8 inches.
Yeah, so it was all good. He currently you're not doing that though. You're currently working on the Fennblades. You proc Vengeance with a spray, or you shot someone engaged.
Yeah, so the Withershadow Combine activates all together. So the guys who were engaged, Admonia boosted to hit her Darkfire, and then she hit the guy who was engaged, killed him, and got her soul back. And the other guy attacked the damaged officer, boosted damage just to guarantee it, killed him, and collected his soul again.
And then you TK'd the Mauler out.
Yep.
Then you have this one. You have this one unit. This one model walks around. Power up your Jack.
Yep. Powers up Erebus. Erebus makes a good fist attack on the middle guy. Stationaries him. He passes his tough check because I'm dice even on damage. Or sorry, no, he fails his tough check. I make an attack against this guy with the crippled fist, looking for a 5 to hit.
Now.
That one misses. Buys an attack on him. Stationaries him. Kills him. He makes a tough check. He passes. He's stationary and knocked down. Buys his last attack with a good fist on the other one. Hits and kills him. Tough check for him.
He's also tough.
Passes his tough check as well. They're not base to base, so they can be knocked down now. So I've got both remaining members of the champion unit are stationary and knocked down.
Yeah, so they're doing absolutely nothing next turn. And the turn before, and the turn after that.
Feels good.
Not at all. So now my Fennblades top the board. What's your plan with trying to remove them?
So Arknode's got a focus. So he bites one, and then he spends a focus, bites the other one. He needs 7s to hit, but I've got a couple souls in Scaverous, so I'm comfortable using rerolls there. I don't end up needing them. I roll both 7s, so no need to boost. He kills 2 of the 3 guys that are engaging him, which is good. At this point, I'm just trying to do enough work to that unit of Fennblades that they're not an issue, that they stop being a thing that I'm afraid is going to vengeance and wreck my life. So Scaverous gets in on the unit, and he's got a couple of cool things here. So before Scaverous activates, Wrong Eye activates, moves up, casts Starcross and Submerge. Again, you can barely see Wrong Eye because he's behind that house, but he makes a couple of attacks on Fennblades which both miss. And he Starcrosses and Submerges again. Because why not?
Your Bane Knight goes?
Yep, so the Bane Warrior goes up. One of them kills a guy who's nearby to Scaverous, giving Scaverous the soul because he's within 2 inches. And the other one does not kill the guy. He misses his attack roll to hit him, and I don't bother re-rolling it.
This is pretty neat what you're doing here.
So Scaverous walks up. So Scaverous is now engaging most of the models that Bane is also engaging, and he makes a Thresher attack. Now, I will hit my own Bane, but because the attacks are resolved simultaneously, they're all affected by the Dark Shroud aura until then. So they go down to arm 12. Some of them that are in Madrak's aura are the ones that matter. Those are the ones that I would have needed knockable ones to kill, but instead I just automatically kill them if I hit them. So I hit almost all of them. I have to spend a soul on a couple. So Scaverous has to spend 2 souls because he's only mat 6.
You also kill your own model.
I do. I kill my own Bane.
2 or 3 tough. You buy 2 more attacks and kill the other 2.
And get 2 more souls. So I'm sitting pretty on a bunch of souls, which is good because I'm pretty happy doing that.
So now it's...
Well, now I'm going to see how many of those Kriel warriors I can hit with a Feast of Worms.
Damn.
Yeah, we inadvertently I flick the time over to you when you're rolling your tough checks. So we catch this in a moment.
About a minute and a half.
Cast Feast of Worms, and I boost to hit. Or pardon me, don't boost to hit. I use a soul to reroll it because I double ones the attack roll.
Yep.
And big AoE 4 hits almost all of them.
Clips 7 of them. Hits 1 and then it clips 6.
Yep.
And they're all under stone, so they're all armor 17, but then if your worm thing does -2, so they're all 15.
Yep.
And the ones engaging are 17.
Yep.
So crazy.
So of the 2 that are engaging, I kill one of them, quite remarkably.
I need 11s to kill. I fail the tough check.
Yep. And then the other ones, I kill the Caber and kill another 2 members of the unit, and you sacrifice.
Sacrifice the one that was knocked down.
Yeah,
that passes his top check.
So a couple of 9s rolled there, which is really nice.
And a hard and 111.
Yep.
So that stays in play. -2 armor if you enter it, and anything that dies, you get the soul.
Yeah. So Scaverous, for killing those guys, collected a bunch of souls, and then Snapjaw moves up, and he's going to give Scaverous a couple more souls. So he eats a few more, folks.
Eats 2 more. You get 2 more souls.
And that's 2 more souls for Scaverous.
So you're seeing like 6 souls this turn?
Yeah, I believe at this point I'm on 7 souls.
7 souls, 1 fury.
Yeah.
1 focus.
1 focus. Now I didn't cycle Death Ward to myself or anything like that, so I'm 14, 17 with 1 focus. I can force you to reroll attack and damage rolls.
And you scored 1 because you TK'd the Mauler out of the way.
Yeah, I do score 1 on that far flag.
Okay, Vengeance. Madrak doesn't move because I don't want to pull my beast out of command. Upkeep Fortune on my Fennblades because I just wanted them to hit some stuff under Starcross. I got 17 minutes on my clock. I feel pretty good. It's a back and forth game. My goal here is to kill your Jack and kill Wrong Eye. Snapjaw. Kill Snapjaw. I want to kill your Jack with my Champ Solo. You only have like 4 boxes left. Champ Solo's Mat 8 under Starcross, so I think he has a pretty good chance of killing you. Hitting and killing you. And I'm hoping my 1 Mauler could kill Snapjaw and score that flag. So I'm looking to score this turn. And I'm also looking to contest the far flag down there again. So I'm just doing some Vengeance rolls.
So Fortune gets to kind of double dip on Vengeance a little bit, which is really cool. You get to reroll those attack rolls as well.
So I missed a Jack altogether up top.
You roll 7, reroll 7, 7, reroll 7, 6, reroll 7.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Something absurd like that.
Hit Snapjaw though. Did a few points, maybe like 4 points to him. Dice up 6. I think I rolled a 10. Did 4 points, something like that.
Yep.
Any little bit helps right now. I'm just debating how to do this. Champ Hero goes over the wall. I debated about Thresh Ring, but I decided not to. Didn't want to kill my own models. I hit. You made me re-roll it. I roll it again, and it still kills. Can you make me re-roll a re-roll?
No. I can only force you to reroll something once because of that particular rule.
Okay, cool.
So I can force you to reroll something you rerolled for a different roll, like a Fortune reroll.
That's pretty neat.
But I can't. The specific is each roll can only be rerolled once due to knowledge of the damned. The rule is called knowledge of the damned.
Okay, yeah. So he made me reroll the first attack, which did a lot of damage, and then he made me roll the second damage attack, which did just enough to kill you.
Yeah, just.
So the Jack's done. That's perfect. These guys are running. No, they're walking to engage. Trying to figure out how to not block my lane with my Mauler. So I want my Mauler on your beast.
Yep.
Either way, he's not going to be on a Starcross. I'm hoping for a lucky hit with my Caber on Snapjaw or Wrong Eye.
Yep, Snapjaw. Or sorry, you do. You move him in and you try to hit Wrong Eye.
But it's like Rat 5 needed 7s under Starcross. It's not that good of odds.
And I can force you to reroll it if you get lucky.
Yeah. But like I wanted to slam you into the house, then you would take the damage, and then maybe you would die. Like it was just like one of those things that could frequently happen. Like it could happen. Fennblades are going. They have Fortune. They charge 2 charges Snapjaw and 1 charges your caster.
Yep.
I hit your caster. You force me to reroll it. And then you're like, no, you know what? No, take it. So you took 2 damage. I think I rolled 7 and you reduced it by 5. Took 2.
Yep.
So
I figured this is probably the only attack that you had available on me.
So yeah, caster has 0. I could maybe walk up and throw some spears, but now you're engaged with my champ. So like it's just not happening. Did a few more points to Wrong Eye, Snapjaw. God, I always get those 2 wrong. Snapjaw. Reposition 3. Okay, moment of truth here. Here we go. How do I do this? Debating with my caster. I switch fortunes to this Mauler because this Mauler's going to be under Starcross, so I want him to have a better chance of hitting. Caster's going to walk 2, 4, 6. I'm debating if I die here. I also debated about if I go to that flag. We're talking if I go to that flag, does your caster kill me?
I think the
it
answer is
does,
yes.
But I also remember that it doesn't really matter at this point because it's not dominate for 2. It's only dominate for 1.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if my caster's at the flag. So I said, okay, cool. He'll stay here with 2 and throw 0 spears.
Be behind the wall.
Yeah.
Pretty
Maybe
nice
I should have thrown a
subjective.
spear at these chicks in the water down here. I'm not sure how far, if it's 8 inches or not, but didn't even think about that. Because I got to throw a spear no matter what. Why not try it? So I want to do something cute here. I thought about walking around, but then I don't want to take a free strike because if you hit, or
Yep.
if you hit, I'm basically stuck. Shadowbound.
It's Shadowbind is on hit. It's not even
Crit.
a crit effect. And
So
she's
I'm like, well,
she's mat 6, so she goes to mat 8 on a free strike.
yeah, you need force.
And I can re-roll it with a soul.
I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. I'm going to trample into this house.
Yeah, so you do the world's derpiest trample.
Yeah,
Spin around like a ballerina and trample over my head.
And trample. 1 for trampling and 1 to boost. You're 14, need 8s.
Yep.
Kills. Oh, no, dice off 1, boost damage just for the hell of it.
Yeah, because she's on 13. She's hardier than she looks.
So dice.
Yeah, you do end up killing her.
And now I'm within 2 inches of that flag, so you can't 2K me out. So I'll be contesting that flag for basically the rest of the game unless you can kill it.
Yep, and he's tricky to kill. He's pretty hardy at this point. Especially with so many dead
Mauler
Banes.
walks in, has fortune, boost it, charge, boost damage. You made me reroll it. I crank the damage again. Boost a hit it. Not boosting damage because it's dice -2.
Yep.
And kills it. So I got 3 and 3 on each beast. I'm camping 2. I can take 4 back. Chronicler goes here. This was a mistake. You can't put Tails and Mist on the caster. It's only unit clause.
Yeah, it does have a unit clause. I didn't catch this.
Yeah, it was we catch it halfway through, so it didn't really play a factor in this game. We just take it off. Over to Tim. I score 1 with my Mauler. It's a 1-1. Tim, what is your solution?
Well, I don't find it right away, and I waste a bunch of time thinking about it first. So there's a little bit of awkwardness here. I realize that if I upkeep Feast of Worms, I can put a 4-point arm swing on that Mauler. If I put a 4-point armor swing on that Mauler, I think I can kill it with the pieces that I've got kicking around here. It probably involves Scaverous at some level. He has like 12 focus, so he's not irrelevant. And I'd like to kind of put some pressure on that flag too, like in terms of my scoring capacity. Unfortunately, I may or may not have enough models for that. I'm definitely starting to bleed pieces. So, on the other hand, so is John. We're in a crazy slugfest here. So I'm looking to see what can I score, what can I do. The Arknote at the bottom corner here, he can be relevant. He can contest that zone. He can get in on a Madrak. If I decide what I want to do is kill Madrak, I've got maybe a TK on him with Scaverous that turns him around for these Satyxis. I've got a Feast of Worms on him, and I've got an Icy Grip. And I can do all 3 of those things. Again, it would be amazing to have my feet here.
So once again, you were going to influence my champ solo, but he's within 4 inches of...
He's within 4 inches of the Arcane Wonder, which gives me a -2 range penalty.
Yeah. So Tim decided he'll do something else instead. I think he'll make a couple of sprays.
Yeah. So the Overlords move up, and they take sprays at the Mauler there. I mean, I'm not expecting to do a ton of damage with them. They're only POW 12, dice -6. I think I only actually get 1 spray in. I'm mostly positioning them for a future turn. Their flank here has kind of collapsed a little bit. The only thing I've got here to deal with is this Mauler. And if I was in a position, like if that house wasn't there, or I was a Ghostwalk caster, I might try to swing down and be relevant on this flank instead, clear out that Mauler, and just kind of ignore the situation John's putting to me as a question. But I don't anticipate that until, obviously, the point in our commentary here after the game has been played. And as you can see, I've spent 5 minutes thinking about all of those options already, and those are 5 minutes I can ill afford at this point in the game. I started this turn 10 minutes up, and I end this turn, I think, 4 minutes down.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty swing. It's a pretty big swing turn right here. I have 2 heavies left on the table. You don't have relevant pieces to remove those heavies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an armor debuff caster, so I've got a Bane and a -2 armor spell. So those things help a little bit against heavies, but yeah, I'm definitely...
I guess when you don't have the units left, though, to crack that armor either, right?
Yeah, I'm running out of pieces.
Like, this bottom half of the board looks good, but you're never going to score in that flight with that Mauler there.
Yeah, the Mauler's a problem.
You could TK it, then run it back in. And you could TK it again, and then it would just be like a back and forth.
Yeah, the problem is I can't TK it off the flag right now. I don't have the ability to get that much work done on it. And maybe I've got enough to kill it with, like, if I'd done something different with the Overlords and I was in a position to charge it and I'd put the armor debuff on it. But I didn't. I've kept the armor debuff where it was on the Crow Warriors. So it's bad. The tools in a common Scaverous list you might see are something like Crow's Cutthroats, who can spin an enemy heavy around and then have backstab against it. I don't have that in this list, just because I'm trying something a little bit different, and it would be useful at this point in the game. So, let's do this first. Withershadow come up. They try to TK the Mauler and miss. So they try to TK something else, and they also miss. The thing that's they don't miss. They telekinesis is a weird spell because it's offensive if it targets an enemy model and not if it doesn't. So when they spell slave telekinesis onto the Mauler and miss, they end up randomizing onto one of my own guys and move him.
So now, they're also shooting. They shot a Fennblade, just take one off the table, give you a
Yep.
soul. Like, you're just trying to collect as much as you can to try to kill the Mauler with your caster. I think that's where you're going with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to unjam a little bit. So Edmonia took a shot, and she cleared a spot for herself. The Arcane charged in and killed the Fennblade, but unfortunately, what I wanted was the charge attack with Scaverous to get a really nice Thresher, and he's still jammed up by that one Fennblade.
Yeah,
I probably didn't do enough work with the Withershadow. I thought about moving two of them up to get better work done with them, but instead I just kind of moved up, did the spell slave, and forgot about it. And they Puppet Master Scaverous. Now Scaverous moves into position to engage a bunch of people. We spend a little bit of time here figuring out which way he needs to face to get the optimal Thresher. I also forget about Puppet Master on Scaverous here and end up spending souls for rerolls instead of just using the Puppet Master for one of the rerolls. So again, a couple of late game mistakes here that I think I can ill afford.
It's been a slugfest though, right? So like it drains you.
Yeah, it
First
does
game
for sure.
pack from your vacation, so
Yep. It's give credit where it's due there. I'm shaking the rust off a little bit during this game. So Scaverous gets some good Thresher targets. He kills the knockdown models, and John gets a couple of tough checks. So I collect a few souls. I don't, however, notice for whatever reason that the drummer, who is still in formation, is actually contesting the flag as well. So I end up putting a bunch of work into clearing off the flag, including the Mauler, with Scaverous' attacks, and I'm not going to score a point doing it anyway, which is one of the things that maybe the Withershadow Combine member who Puppet Mastered could have been relevant for if he'd moved up and cast Darkfire instead. But hindsight's 2020. There's mistakes were made, as they say.
It's hard to remember the drummer because he absolutely does nothing when his unit's in a way.
He gives them Repo 3.
But there's been a few times where actually my drummer's contested a lot of flags.
Yep, he's good at it. He's pretty good at it.
He has vengeance, like you walk in, he's
So I do kill the Mauler, and I buy a couple more attacks. Kill some things that John cares about. Use a soul to reroll. John points at the drummer. I realize my error. And Scaverous puts up Death Ward. So Scaverous is camping he's camping one focus, has Death Ward, and has a couple of souls on him. Satyxis, they charge in. I get a couple of them to charge in a Madrak. One of them just runs. I don't crit knockdown Madrak. And I just end my turn with 17 seconds left, which is not ideal.
Hey, my turn. I take 3 back. Don't want to keep fortune because I take the Vengeance 3, and I gave Tim three free strikes to kill Madrak here.
Yeah, I end up taking these free strikes. Maybe it's a mistake with the time that I had left on my clock. I know they've got crit knockdown, so I'm thinking if I knock down Madrak, I'm in a pretty good spot. They just do really good damage because they ignore his shield because they have chain weapons, and they're attacking him in the back and a number of other things. And he doesn't have his aura yet because he hasn't spent one to pop aura. So this is Madrak's Righteous Vengeance move where he takes...
I took 7 and then took 2. So I took 9 and I transferred to 7. So I took 2. I was nice. I flip the clock back and forth. I don't want to win. I could easily hear. We talked about him easily could back up and be like, hey, I jam you. Okay, what are you going to do with 3 seconds? You can't kill Madrak.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I probably have air quotes clocked out because I think if John just ends his turn, ships it back to me, I probably lose. Yeah. So at this point, we're playing it out just to sort of see what the game state would be like.
Yeah, so I'm playing it out, see if I can assassinate. I'm like, okay, I can get you. I think Madrak can kill you. But, he's a lot tankier caster than I thought.
Yeah, Scaverous right now is 14-19, and I don't have Starcrust up because I tried to do different things with Wrong Eye this turn. I tried to get him to get souls for Scaverous and kind of be more relevant, and he did that somewhat ineffectually.
Yeah, so we're talking, I'm figuring out what I can do. I'm like, okay, I can trample backwards, buy an attack, kill one, get my champ soul to charge your caster. You can make a reroll that one. Then I'll get Madrak on you with 5 Fury because you only transferred 1.
Yep.
So I'm like, it could be possible. I think it's pretty good odds. I'm like, okay, cool. I figured this. I'm gonna look at my clock. I'm like, oh shit, I got a minute and a half to do this. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So at this point in the game, we're largely disregarding the clock.
Yeah, we're just
formally, I think this is my loss, and I think it's my loss for a couple of really good reasons. The biggest one is the feeding inappropriately,
and then triggering vengeance. Yeah, triggering vengeance on my Fennblades. I think that is probably the biggest mistake. I don't want to say mistake, but
no, I'll say mistake.
Okay, mistake that you made in this game.
It's probably the biggest mistake I've made in War Machine this year.
Okay, fair enough. I play a lot of games.
Yep.
It basically gave me that top side of the table and gave me your Banes, and I had a huge presence now in that scenario.
And it spent my feet doing nothing, which is a huge waste. And then to top it all off, the clever thing where I TK'd the Arc Node instead of activating it and moving it up.
You didn't move your Arc
Node. It was so that I could run it back and save the Arc Node, and I just didn't do that and give you an Arc Node for nothing. So it's one of those moments where I got a little tilted as a result of it. So at this point, John clocks out trying to assassinate me.
I left you on
10
boxes. Missed. Oh no, we're still going through.
Yeah, so he clocks out with 2 Fury left, and he's like, oh, I guess I'll just keep doing this. And we're like, sure, let's just do it. So thing is, he needs 7s to hit. He actually hits quite a few 7s. I don't really make him reroll any of them. He spikes damage a couple times. I make him reroll those spikes.
If you didn't,
his dice minus 5 on damage, and is not boosting.
Yeah.
So he does.
Well, I boost the 1 because I hit, then I boost damage, and maybe reroll it, and it was low.
Yep.
It was maybe reroll high 1 to a 1-1-3.
Yeah.
I did no damage.
And then one of the attacks I spend a focus to reduce.
Oh, it was the champ solo.
Yeah, the champ solo when I spend the focus to reduce. Yeah. So Scaverous is still on 10 boxes.
At this point, realistically, Tim goes to 2. I think my Mauler's outside of 5 or outside of 4. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter. Can you kill Madrak?
I'm like, yes, I can kill Madrak. So for free, I upkeep Feast of Worms, which is still there, giving him the debuff. I activate the Bane first. The Bane charges Madrak, misses the attack roll, and then Scaverous is like, okay, let's go. I've got a bunch of focus. But before I do that,
let's collect some
can
souls.
I collect a soul on Scaverous? So I activate a Wrong Eye to come in, try to kill the champ hero. Wrong Eye makes his first attack and kills him.
Tough.
He passes his tough.
He's steady.
Second initial hits him, doesn't do any damage.
5 now or something like that. Does no damage.
Buys an attack, hits him, does no damage. I Spirit Reef for 1. I didn't cut any on Wrong Eye, so I don't kill him and don't get a soul. So I'm like, okay, cool. The Satyxis Raiders. I'll charge 2 at Madrak and 1 at the champ hero, and that'll give Scaverous the soul he wants for that reroll. Yes. And the 1 hits and kills him. Scaverous gets the soul. The 2 that charged Madrak, I'm like, okay, so you're in a Bane aura. I ignore your shield. You're in Feast of Worms. So you didn't Protective Aura. So your 18 goes down to
16,
12.
Down to 14, down to 12.
So these guys are dice minus 1. First one does a ton of damage. Second one does a reasonable amount of damage.
I'm on 4.
And I've got the Lacerator Whip on the last one. Tough check, kills him.
Yeah.
So the 2 Satyxis actually kill Madrak, so Scaverous doesn't even have to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
And Scaverous collects the soul.
Overall, good game. It was a slugfest. The mistake happened, and it kind of opened the door for me. And I took advantage of it. Definitely did not miss that opportunity.
For sure, and credit where it's due. I think I lose this game on clock. Like I'm definitely.
No, yes, for sure, because I would have just walked back, and then you could hit it back and forth as much as you want.
Sure.
Your 3 seconds, my 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So, really good game, Tim. Hopefully your vacation was great. A lot better than this War Machine game.
It was true. This game was no fireworks, but I think it's fun, and it does show you. Like, I mean, I'm scratching the surface of the depth that Scaverous has as a caster.
Yeah.
Like there are enormous opportunities for me to do better things here, both in terms of list construction and in terms of acquisition of souls, utilization of that feat, even just. The telekinesis play was super conservative on my part here, and that is one of the most powerful spells on his card. I mean, if he only had telekinesis, he'd be an incredible caster, and he's got a lot more than that. But yeah, thanks a ton for the game, guys, and thanks for watching. If you would mind subscribing to our channel, we really appreciate it. And if you want to check us out on Twitch, we also have a Twitch channel now. John on Twitter, myself on Twitter, all of that in terms of detail, and our Facebook page will be linked in the comments below. And if there's a specific caster you want to see or a specific matchup you want to see, let us know. We're open to feedback as long as we've got the models painted. And
Signar casters, I'll be playing in March.
Yeah, John's going to be trying to play some Signar, which is pretty exciting. She'll be seeing a little more of that out of him. He's putting the trolls on the shelf for a little while, which is exciting. And thanks very much for watching.